I want to make a quick video about how to hook up your Nest thermostat. This is the newer model, the Nest Learning thermostats. I believe it's referred to as a version 3 online. If you got a Daikin two-stage air handler and heat pump, we just recently had our old one break down and we got this new system, and it took a lot of research online to make sure I was hooking up the Nest correctly, and there wasn't really a great guide, so I thought I would make one. If you look in the manual, it's got settings here, and if you don't know much about thermostats, this is seems a little confusing at first, but the old thermostat, my old one looked like this. If you take the cover plate off your thermostat, you'll see wires coming through this area here. And all you really need to do is take note of which wires go to which plug, like O, B, Y1, Y2, etc., going all the way around. When you have your Nest and you take the cover off, it's going to look like this. And what you need to do is make sure the wires from your old unit go to the corresponding wires on the Nest thermostat. Your colors may be different depending on how your original unit was installed. But generally, the colors will be this color scheme. G is green, O is orange, Y is yellow, R is red, W is white. So that kind of gets you going in the right direction. But again, yours may not be hooked up that way. It's more important just to look at your old thermostat and take note of which colors went to which plug in the old thermostat. So I'll go through this real quick so you know how it works and what's going on here. But so for a two-stage heat pump with no alternate fuel, so basically, like if you're using heat pump to cool and say gas or oil or something like that to heat, that's not what this is. What this is if you have two-stage heat pump heating and two-stage heat pump cooling, and then you also have emergency heat. This unit has emergency heat stage 1 and emergency heat stage 2. The manuals are a little confusing unless you already know how a heat pump works. But I'll go through these here and explain what they do. So with a heat pump heating and cooling, Y1 and Y2 do heat stage 1 and cool stage 1. Y2 does heat stage 1 and heat stage 2 and cool stage 2, which that seems a little confusing. Well, how does it, how does it know which is which? Well, that's where the O wire comes in, the orange. So what the O wire does is it basically tells your heat pump to run in forward or reverse. And that basically flips you from heating mode to cooling mode. So the compressor and everything in your unit is actually doing the same thing. It's just pumping the heat in a different direction. So G is your fan, which tells the fan whether to run or not. W1 is for emergency heat stage 1, and W2 is emergency heat stage 2. So depending on where you live, it may never even kick in. But if, say, something happened and your unit was malfunctioning and it wasn't heating and it was dead of winter and it's getting, it was unable to heat, it'll kick in electric heat just to limp you along so your pipes don't freeze and things like that. C is your common wire. Red is your power. So if you hook your wires up in this configuration, and then you snap your nest back in here, get it. Okay, press it, go to settings. Oops. Get back. Sorry, I messed that up. Settings. And you want to go to equipment. All right, so this will show you a summary of how you have it configured. And this is what you want it to say if you're doing, again, 2-stage heat pump heating, 2-stage heat pump cooling. You can see they're labeled, as I said it was. Alternate heat is your emergency heat. That gives you another summary. If you go to Pro Setup, hit Continue. What you can do here is cycle through each of these wires and tell it you want to set it to what it is. It's really smart about auto detecting, but you want to make sure each one of these is set just like I have it here. Heat cool 2, fan O. This shows that it's alt electric force air. Again, that's really what you would refer to as emergency heat and emergency heat stage 2. So the names are a little generic. This can be confusing. But yeah, that's it. Set it up like that. And this is a Daikin, which it's pretty much the same thing as Amana and Goodman for 2-stage heat pump, heat and cool. All right, I hope you guys find that helpful.